Patrick O'Neill back here on the broadcast, as this year we've been trying to look ahead to the Quebec-based teams when they come to Center 200, and this coming Friday, the Val-d'Or Foreurs will be in town and joined by Francois Olivier Dénommé, who does play-by-play on the webcast for the Foreurs. Francois Olivier, a bit of a surprise, I'd say, a good start to the season for the Foreurs. Was this unexpected in Val-d'Or, do you think?
Yes, maybe a bit. The sample is really small, obviously, but the team still has some overage players that are doing a great job. They have a good leader in Justin Robidas. And what most people don't talk about enough, they have Mario Baril as a goaltending coach, and he can do wonders with pretty much any goalies. That's what he's doing with Philippe Cloutier as a 18-year-old backup and William Blackburn as the true number one guy. Keep in mind, Mario Baril is behind the development of Martin Brodeur and Roberto Luongo. Both spoke about Mario when they did their speech in the Hall of Fame introduction, so that speaks a lot. He is a master at goaltending.
Goaltending definitely helps you win games, as does scoring goals. Last year when we had you on the broadcast, you were raving about Justin Robidas, who's a draft pick of the Carolina Hurricanes. What is it about him that makes him a special player to watch?
He is above everybody else in hockey IQ. It's easy to look at the stats. Yeah, he did score 2 goals that night, and a goal and assist the other day. He does every little things to help. He plays PK. He can deliver checks. It's not bone-crushing checks, but he finishes his body checks, and he never takes a shift off. I like to look at a guy when he comes back to the bench. Is he lazy? Is he just letting it go? Or he goes hard and makes sure the next man up as a second on the play. And Robidas always does that. His father played in the NHL for a very, very, very long time, so the kid has been raised looking at what an NHL player does. And I think it'll be a steal for the Hurricanes in round 5 at the last draft and for the Foreurs. As long as he's there, I think they're going to be okay.
The story around this team last year, they made so many trades to get better, and they do end up falling short. How much of last year was a championship or bust season? What was the disappointment like that they couldn't finish the job against Victoriaville?
Oh, it was a bust, and I remember telling you before the season started, it was a championship or a failure. And it was. You gotta give Victoriaville credit. They want to win too, eh? The Foreurs last year had one small, little, tiny hole. It was at the center position, and when Robidas was injured in the finals, it came back to bite them. We'll look at this rosters, both Val-d'Or and Victoriaville, in 10 years, and we'll wonder, wow, that should have been over in 4 for the Foreurs. But you know, Pat, I think it's the beauty of the game. It's not played on paper, it's played on the ice. Sometimes you're in the wrong end of what should be an easy pass to the cup, and the other time you win it and you were not supposed to. So I guess the game is fair. We had a pretty darn good team last year. That kind of team will come back one day or another.
Now, were you surprised that the Foreurs went all in a year where the fans weren't really able to enjoy the team because there were no games played at home?
Not really. They had too much invested before. Remember, last year at this time, we were not that sure that it would be that bad as a situation. They already had invested in Jacob Pelletier. That was a team that was ready to go all in. Maybe not that all in, but you know, when Samuel Poulin became available at a relatively low price, what you going to say? No, we won't take the discount. We'll go as we have a team right now, and we'll see. I think they did the right thing. Do they wish they had that last goal in the overtime, game 6, back? Maybe. Remember, it's a game of inches. You know, Pat, you'll make me have nightmares thinking about that again. I still think the better team did not win it, but it's over. It's over, and I think everybody in the organization will grow with that. The players, the coaches, although there are not much left from that coaching staff, the GM, the players that are left, learn in life. It's a continued growing. So we'll see. Maybe 2-3 years down the road, it's the opposite scenario.
Now, a big part of that team that moved on was Jonathan Lemieux, who we're seeing this weekend in St. John. How was he in the playoffs? Is he a guy that can lead this St. John team?
I think, yes, maybe. It's a tough one because I know Jonathan, since the beginning of his career, is a really, really good guy, a really good kid. He had tremendous results last year in the regular season, good also in the playoffs. Although the last 4 games against Victoriaville, he didn't keep the net well. I'm not saying he is the guy responsible for the loss. It's not that way in hockey. It's a team game. You win as a team and you lose as a team. But I think as a 20-year-old, He is among the best netminders, and he has some mileage in this league too, which is valuable. So I think St. John in goal, they're okay. But again, it takes 23 players to win a cup, but he's a part of it, and I think he can do the job.
Looking ahead to this Eagles Foreurs game, who are some other players that fans should be watching out for? I know Alexander Doucet is off to a hot start this year.
Doucet is really good. Cale McCallum was acquired via trade, is having a really good start to the season. We have a 17-year-old European defenseman in Thomas Cibulka, who I think is going to be really, really good in this league. A European defenseman, it's not a common thing when they play in the queue, especially in a small market like Val-d'Or. Both 20s, Émile Lauzon and Jérémy Michel are out for at least the foreseeable future. So are they able to come back in the Maritimes? We don't know. We're looking for an Alexander Mirzabalayev coming out party. He was really good at 17-year-old. He didn't play last year because of the COVID and the fact that he couldn't land in Val-d'Or. I'm looking for these guys to carry the load. Val-d'Or has a pretty good power play right now, but I do think it'll be low-scoring affairs to win games for them this year.
We'll be watching them very closely when they come into Center 200. Great analysis as always, Francois Olivier. Thanks for this and have fun watching the team this season.
Thanks, Pat. Have fun, you too.
That is Francois Olivier Dénommé. He is one of the play-by-play announcers for the Val-d'Or Foreurs on the web this year. You are listening to Uniglass Plus, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.